What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of DT Podcast. How's everybody this evening? Or whenever you're watching it, I don't know. I hope everybody is good. I have a guest today on today's episode, a guy called Gengis Polanco. We touch on many different topical grounds. Pretty cool conversation. I hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think, guys. Trying to grow this on my own platform. As some of you are very well aware, there's been a rebranding, but I'm still going as a podcaster. So yeah, if you could do me a favor and just hit the like button, tell me what you think of the conversation in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribers are currency. You guys are my currency. But yeah, guys, enjoy the conversation. I thought it was pretty cool, and let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Gengis Polanco, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, Dave. Thanks for the opportunity of having me at your podcast, man. It's been long overdue. You know, for the audience, I'm one of your biggest fans, man. I'm here to support you every step of the way, brother.
Awesome, my man. I gotta get your address. I'll send you something signed. You can sell it on eBay for millions.
Nah, I won't sell it. I'll just keep it next to my other memorabilia.
I love it. Awesome, brother. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day. Obviously, I think we tried to set up a podcast months ago, but it never happened.
No, we've been trying to set it up, but what fucked everything up was during the pandemic. Everything was just so uncertain. Because I remember during the pandemic, we spoke via video, but everything was just all over the place. But I'm glad we got it done.
Absolutely, man. Here we are.
Here we are, man. We're still alive.
You don't have a New York accent. You're in New York, and I
am in New York, but in New York, we have 5 boroughs. Everybody has different accents. So in Brooklyn, it's mainly like Russian, Italian. So everybody sounds like Tony Danza. Like, oh, what you mean nobody upstairs? And then in the Bronx, there's more Latino, Irish. So you get like, Irish folks and then the Latinos. So we all have different accents. But I've been living here 42 years now. So
wow, there you go.
Yeah, because you see, New York has a lot of diversity. You have all the assholes are over here.
I first saw you on Khalid's podcast, Taekwondo artist, an absolute gentleman from Germany. He's got a killer show on is it YouTube? Not YouTube, Instagram. He got what's the other one? Spotify, I guess. Apple Podcasts.
Spotify and iTunes. Yeah, he's killing it with the podcast. We actually discovered each other because on my page I repost a lot of different martial artists that I follow and people that I train with. It turns out that we follow the same people. And I've been a big fan of Ron Swarmberg. It's this gentleman from Holland. He's the guy that did the rooftop fight with Jackie Chan. Right. So he had interviewed him. So, we connected, we hit it off, and then I started reposting his stuff. And then through all that time, then I met you. So, yeah, man, I know two good podcasters happen to be 2 good friends of mine, man.
There you go, man. I love it. Sir. I watched your one with Khalid. And I'm like, oh, this guy, I love listening to Khalid's podcast because it's not just question and answer and move on and next question. Like he really develops from what's being said. And back when I was starting off as a podcaster, or even before, I wanted to check out to see what people were doing. You
want to check out the formula.
Yeah. How is it done? Is it just like, so where do you get your inspiration from? I mean, that's interview shit that I don't want to get involved in. I came across Khalid's stuff and I just fell in love with the way he talks and how he responds to things that are being said. And then I saw your one and I heard stories from back in the day, which I'm old enough now where I can tell stories from back in the day.
Yeah, and, I'm 42, so I'm from the old school. I'm from the 80s. Yeah. So it's going to be anything from heavy metal to being a bouncer to being into fights. You're going to hear a little bit of everything. Yeah. But Khalid, if you're watching, sorry to cheat on you, brother, but we're keeping it in the family.
I love it. All right, let's hit with some stories. I mean, bouncer in New York. That's gotta be scary as fuck, man.
It was because all my life I've been a security officer. So my first 10 years was as a bouncer. I went to school, but unfortunately I dropped out because my father passed away from cancer in 2001. a couple weeks after 9/11. So I dropped out. I had to be the man of the house. I didn't want to allow my mother to cry over any bills. And most of the jobs that were paying well was being a bouncer. I'm 6'4", 343 pounds. I'm the size and weight of Steven Seagal. And I have an Aikido background. So, you know, if I'm at the door, they're going to hire me right away. And I know how to handle myself. So at the time, they were paying $100 a night, cash off the books. But the problem with being a bouncer is you have no health insurance. And I'm not going to say that I've been into any fights. I'm the guy you hire to break up altercations. But you get hurt in the process. As you can see, my knuckles, that's from all the Velcro, all the fucking leather, all the denim, because you're pulling the patrons out. You know, in this day and age, well, back then we didn't have that many cameras, but you can't just, you know, hit somebody with your fist. You're going to get arrested. So you're just there to restrain and subdue. You know what I mean? And just escort that person out, the troublemaker. Because as you know, when you go and hang out at bars, the nice person that walks in is going to be nice. But once he has that liquid courage, the first victim is the bouncer. He's going to want to prove something to his girlfriend or wife. And I'm the guy you might want to skip. Because not only am I going to kick your ass, I got 5 guys in the back ready to fucking get some too.
Yeah, man, it's a scary time.
It was rough and scary because I did mostly like the heavy metal clubs. And this was late 90s, early 2000s. You know, it was a rough scene back then because you had the hardcore kids and you got the long hairs. You got the skinheads and you got the hair metal guys. And you know how you have different branches of metal? Most of these motherfuckers didn't get along in the mosh pit. So you have these motherfuckers coming in high on Angel Dust and PCP and drunk. And we're like, yo, okay, I know the mosh pit is a friendly, violent fun, but now people are getting punched in the face. Now we got to start, you know, taking people out.
Yeah.
But it was all right, man. I made some good money, and I always told my mom, "Why did you make me watch that movie Roadhouse?" That with Patrick Swayze, and I told her as a joke when I was like 9 or 10, "Mom, maybe I should do that, work security at a club and beat people up." And she's like, "No, you're gonna graduate school, you're gonna be fine." Who would have told her that years later in my 20s I was gonna be a bouncer to pay the bills?
Yeah.
But then it just got too violent because New York State had this law that you couldn't smoke cigarettes at the bars or restaurants anymore. So a lot of bouncers started getting stabbed, me included. I got cut on my side. I was at the door, some dude sliced me. I didn't even notice I was cut, so I was bleeding. So it was kind of dangerous. So I went more now, I do corporate security. So now I work closely with NYPD and the fire department. So I'm stationed at the lobby as reception. I do perimeter checks, I sign people in. So now I don't have to beat anybody up. It's all about verbal resolution.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Well, I see the guys nowadays, you know, like nowadays, everybody's got their cell phone out. Everybody's checking to see what cameras are around. So it's a bit of a different story. Like, I mean, essentially the Wild West is when I did doors for a little bit, and it was, I won't say that it was anywhere near as dangerous as what you were involved in, because again, a lot of grunge bars and a lot of, like I'm from Cork in Ireland, and it's not the most dangerous city on the planet. You know, some things happen here and there, but I was never truly in a lot of danger. But I had a knife pulled on me a few times, and I was in some scary group fights, you know, where it's just 2 guys versus 2 guys and you don't know who's with who, and you're trying to break everybody up, which is tough. But it's interesting you said it was $100 a night cash. I worked
$100 a night cash, and you know, in the 90s money was money.
Yeah,
now $100 can't buy you shit.
Yeah, for real. I worked the door and I got €13 an hour for, and I was about 5 hours, 6 hours. So it was not a lot of money. And when I look back now, I'm 38 now. I look back and I go, I did that for $13 an hour. Fuck me, man. You know?
Yeah, but that was the job that was paying the most because nobody wanted to do it because it was dangerous.
Yeah.
And me being in New York City, that's why they call it the concrete jungle. You deal with a diversity of people. You're dealing with everybody.
Yeah.
You're dealing with everybody. That's why, like, I grew up in an Irish neighborhood, and that's why I thank your people for always having my back.
That was my next question. That was my next question. So you were in the Irish zone. Did the Irish live up to their reputation?
As far as being good people, hardworking, and having everybody's back, absolutely. Because the thing is, you as an Irishman, I'm Latino. We're not looking at race. We're not looking at white. We're not looking at brown. We're not looking at black. We're looking at helping our fellow man. And when I worked some Irish bars, if a fight broke out, Irish person had my back.
Yeah.
It wasn't about color. It wasn't about race. It's like, okay, we both can get drunk and we both know how to fight. Who wants it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but my neighborhood was really good. A lot of Irish people have moved out because now it's all gentrified. You know, the hipsters moved in and all that. But I still have one of the. I'm gonna take a picture of it for you tonight.
Yeah.
It's one of the original Irish bars that's left. It's called the Liffey Bar, and it
Yeah.
has the Irish setup on the back, the Irish flag outside, and everything. It's still open. It's only one of the few bars that's still open after the pandemic.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, no, Irish folks were cool, man. They like to drink, they like to get fucked up, they like to have fun. And when it
Yeah.
comes to throwing down, we're all gonna fight as brothers.
There you go. And we typically love to fight as well. So there's a passion involved in it. It's like like let's say you're on the door. Hey, my boy Gengis is getting his ass kicked over here. Let's go and help him. I guess that was, that would probably happen.
Yeah, and after 3 Guinness and a couple of shots, we're ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. That you know what? That's something that it's not that I'm ready to go. It's that something that right now, when I go out and I have more than 3 or 4 beers, I'm looking around at danger. I still have that inside of me that I'm like, okay, well,
Situational awareness. Yeah.
yes. And I'm like, okay, well, if shit goes down now, where's the exit? Um, who in my immediate surroundings looks to be causing the most problems? The guy falling over his girlfriend over here, or the two guys arguing about the football? I'm kind of like always on high alert. I was in a club and I hate clubs, but I was in a club at the weekend. It was an office Christmas party. And I went to the club after the party, and it's called the Penthouse here in Lucerne, Switzerland. Beautiful bar, but just I was just always aware, like it's on the top floor of this building. It's an elevator chute down to get out. So if there's a fire or if there's a huge brawl, which is very, very possible, I just felt I was in danger, and I just got out of there after 20 minutes. I fucking hate clubs anyway, but
You always got to follow your gut. I don't do clubs either. Ever since I stopped working the clubs, I don't go to clubs. I'm more like, now I'm 42. I'm more about like, I just go to work, go see the girlfriend, go to martial arts school, go to my physical therapy. I just keep it from point A to point B because there's really nothing out in the street. And all
yeah.
our entertainment has been provided at home. You don't even need to go to the movie theaters anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you go out in the street, especially me, I work graveyard shift, Dave. I do midnights to 8 in the morning. So I'm out in the fucking lion's den. So I gotta be extra careful. So I'm not really fucking with clubs or anything like that. But as you said, everywhere you go, you gotta have situational awareness because you see the shit on the news all the time. You might have watched news about New York City. People are getting pushed in the subway platforms and getting stabbed on the subway platforms. But since I'm never outside, that shit never happens to me. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because I'm not out there looking for trouble.
And
Yeah,
if you
man.
look for trouble, you'll find trouble.
Yeah, you definitely find it. And now, that I have these health issues, I think I had mentioned I lost a range of motion on my right side because of my health, my high blood pressure, and I had a stroke when I was 34. So now I'm rebuilding that with physical therapy. So that's why I haven't been able to practice martial arts. But as I told Khaled, people like you, like him, Amy Johnston, Ron Swoonberg, you guys keep me alive. Because even though I can't do it physically, it's 90% mental. When I see you guys do your work, it inspires and motivates me. So when I do get my health back, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking do it to honor my friends because they're fucking crushing it in their respective fields.
That's
Because
amazing.
there's a Mark Twain saying that says the two most important days are the day that you're born and the day you found out why. My purpose was just to take care of my parents. They both passed away, so I was a little bit lost for a while. But now that I'm able to connect with people like you and the people that I promote on my Instagram, it's like, no, now I know why I'm here. I'm here to help out my friends as best as I can. You see, I repost your stuff, I repost Kylie's stuff, so they could get to where they have to go, and I could see them fulfill their dream, and that'll make me happy because I don't give a fuck about money. I don't give a fuck about fame. I have $10 in my pocket. I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
But to see my friends and the people that I love and care about do their thing, and if I can help you get there, that's the purpose of my life right now. Just helping as many people as I can, because that's how we change the world, man. One random act of kindness every day.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
man. That's fucking true, man. You're like so inspiring, man. Hearing like this is what I wanted to be subject to when I started doing a podcast. I don't want to talk about your fucking nice car. I don't want to talk about how many houses you got. I want to talk to real
We got to talk
people.
about real shit.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And I see your Instagram, and after I saw your first podcast with Khalid, and then I followed you and I saw what you actually post. You aren't posting anything about
No, no
yourself,
politics, no religion. It's
but it's
all
not even
about
about yourself. It's just all promoting other people and lifting them up.
other people's passions. Because where your passion is podcasting, Kylie's passion is podcasting. Amy Johnston, which I met at the beginning of November, one of my favorite action stars, her passion is being a stunt woman and doing martial arts fights on screen. So I put that on my page. So the next generation, whoever watches, can get inspired, because these are people that are getting it done now. Because we all start somewhere. Like Amy Johnston, I promote her a lot on my page, as you can see. And I finally met her in person. She started off on YouTube, and now she's a stunt double for Black Widow, for Scarlett Johansson.
Wow.
She's getting all these jobs all over the place. And I met her, and you know how they say you should never meet your heroes? Dude, when I met her, it's like I'm talking to you. She was so friendly, so cool. Because most of these action stars and Hollywood stars are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Like, I've met some of them, and I'm just like, yo, I'm about to just delete your fucking page and never promote you again. But when I met her and her husband, they were so cool. And when I walked down the block with them, because they had an event in Times Square, and I believe in synchronicity, right? I've been promoting her for 10 years. And I told her, Amy Johnston, what are the chances that you had an event 2 blocks from where I work? We were meant to meet today. And we were walking down the block, and I felt like that 9-year-old kid that's walking down the block with their favorite superhero. But as we're walking down the block, the bar that I used to work at was across the street, which they made into a Target now. I'm like, man, I got stabbed across the street. There was a brawl over here. This was me thinking, well, as I'm walking down the street with her, I'm like, well, she'll hear these stories later on. But Amy, if you're watching, that's what went down that block.
I love it, man. That is, but
Yeah.
and then that's connecting to everything. Then, like, is it all random? Is that the world we live in? Is everything just a coincidence, or is this the energy that you put out
No,
there
it's
and
the
get
energy
back?
you project, man. Because another story I'm going to tell you, when you throw love and positive energy out into the world, you get it back. One of my favorite action stars is Ron Smallberg. I've been following this gentleman since 1997. I was 17. I'm 42 now. Who was going to tell me that this was going to be my best friend later on in life? Someone I looked up to half of my life. I talked to the gentleman because he lives in Thailand with his family, and he has a busy schedule with filming. But you see the numerous posts on my page. I've been following this dude 23 years. And for me to sit on the phone with him, and he's talking about his projects, and he has this inspiring and motivating stuff on his page that I could project to other people, it makes me feel good because I threw it out there. It's not random shit. Right now, you're doing this podcast and you're talking to people like me, talking to people like Khalid. Dude, you're going to blow up because you're talking about real stuff and you're connecting with people that can help you get to the next level. There's no bullshit here. It's all about love, brother. It's all about supporting each other. That's the way it's supposed to be. But somehow, in this new generation, we lost that. Because I come from a generation that there was honor, there was loyalty, there was respect. Like if you and I just met in a bar and we had an altercation and I get out of line, it is perfectly fine for you to punch me in the face. Yeah, because I fucked up. And as a gentleman, the next day, if I see you at the bar, I'm buying you a drink. Now we could go at it again or we could be friends. I met one of my best friends in the fight. This dude punched me in the face. I said something stupid. We've been friends for over 18 years. And to this day, I was like, Steve, you got a hell of a left hook, brother. Like, that shit still hurts, you know? But nowadays, like, you get into a fight, motherfucker wants to come with a gun and shoot you and end your life for nothing. There's no honor, there's no loyalty, there's no respect. So I project that in my page. And the people that I repost, I either know them in person or have trained with them, or I've just been following them for a long time. There's not just random people on the page. You know, there's some kind of connection.
Yeah. It's killer, man.
Some people think that I just repost to blow up my numbers. No, I'm reposting the content so other people could get inspired and motivated. When I looked at my followers, I was like, I only have 6 real friends. Where the fuck did these numbers come from? So this is the shit that I'm throwing out there. It's love and positive energy, and people have been responding well.
That's it, man. I love it. What a fucking message, man. That is seriously cool. And then that'll all come back to you, guaranteed. You know. Talk to me.
Because I've been near death, brother. Listen, I've been hospitalized over 22 times. I have health issues. Everyone I've ever loved and cared about passed away, unfortunately. But I'm still here. I must be still here for a reason. So why not do something productive and creative with it and inspiring and just help as many people as I can. So when I do go, everybody's taken care of.
For real. Awesome, man. That's beautiful. I love it, man. That gives me fucking energy hearing that shit.
Yeah, bro. And the thing is, it's like, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, talk to me about music. You got a big
music.
You're
As you've seen the numerous posts, this is the thing. I worked the door as a bouncer for 10 years. But as a Latino, Latinos weren't big into like heavy metal here in New York. And it was more LA. Bands like Slayer, Tom Reyes from Chile.
Yeah.
In LA, you had a diversity of band members. Over here, like if you weren't white, you weren't playing in a heavy metal band. But that's the type of music that I enjoy because my dad pulled out the Santana albums, the Jimi Hendrix, the Led Zeppelin. So I heard the sound of the electric guitar. And when he passed, he said, son, I would like you to pick up an instrument. And then it clicked. When he died, I was like, you know what? This is how I'm going to cope with my loss. I'm going to honor my dad and learn how to play this music. So I got good at rock and heavy metal. I started listening to Metallica, Judas Priest, all the fucking bands. And then I just dominated that fucking music. So every time I go to a band practice, I just knew my shit. You've seen me play guitar. I've sent you some videos.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing is, these guys were all about the look. They had the leather. Because I tried out for like Norwegian black metal. I was into Swedish death metal. I was into fucking In Flames, Dissection, and all that shit. But I would come to your fucking band audition in shorts, in a fucking navy blue t-shirt. I didn't have the look. And they'll be like, dude, you look like you're rehearsing for a salsa band. I'm like, let the music speak for itself. I plug in, start playing some Morbid Angel, some fucking Slayer. They're like, dude, you're in. Just do me a favor. Just dress up when we play. I'm like, no problem. There was a point that I was wearing more makeup than my mother, but fuck it. So I played all this evil music. Mind you, it never made me angry. It never made me evil. I don't know why people have anything against heavy metal music. I was born and raised Catholic. I don't have any inverted crucifixes in my house. I never fucking decapitated anything. But since the music is angry, people are ignorant. They're afraid of what they don't understand. So there was a point that my family members didn't add me on Facebook because they wanted to call an exorcist for me. I was like, you motherfuckers are stupid.
It's art. But it's an expression.
It's an expression. And the thing is, I was coping with my father's death. I needed to get that out. So the doors that I would be working, the different rock clubs, I would be working on a weekend, and then I would book my band that same weekend. So I was kind of doing the music thing and the bouncer thing at the same time. But there was no money in music back then, Dave, because I didn't have the tools that the kids have now. Now they have fucking Instagram, they have iTunes, they have Spotify. Everything. I don't even need a producer to promote my shit now. But back then it was self-promotion. The highest tech that we had was MySpace. I don't know if you remember MySpace.
I have one still active.
Yeah. That's how we got to promote our music. And labels weren't signing any New York acts because you had to be from LA or from the Midwest in America to promote that style of music. And then, funny story, which you can look it up on Google, the lead singer of my band, which was a female, ended up committing some kind of crime, armed robbery, and now the label dropped us. Now we couldn't play any shows because of her criminal background. So we had to break up the band. And when you break up a band, it hurts more than breaking up with a girlfriend because you spend 5-6 days out of the week in a room with these people creating music.
Yeah.
So I just left the music thing and I just pursued my corporate security gig because I had to pay the bills, man. Music wasn't paying the bills. So now I did it as a hobby. And the young lady that I'm dating at the moment, I was her guitar teacher. So she stole my fantasy. I wanted to hook up with a teacher. But then she's like, nah, fuck it. I was friends with her parents. They both passed away. But, love, you can't search for it. You got to let it come to you. And that's what we were talking about earlier. You just throw it out in the universe. It comes back to you.
Yeah,
if you throw out negative shit, that's what's going to come back to you.
Truth right there. I can't tell you how energetic and fucking life-giving it is when I got in the gym and started punching bags when heavy metal music was on the sound system.
That is the ultimate therapy.
Used to have it like with the
and martial arts. That's amazing.
But they used to have it with like dance music and techno and stuff like that, pumped up kind of gym stuff. But for me, it's heavy metal, man. Stick on some fucking old school thrash metal and hit the punching bag. Or sometimes when I was going to the gym, like say 2009, 2010, 2011, we would have these not even group chats because it wasn't even WhatsApp then. Group text messages, fucking group emails. I don't know. Hey, anyone want to go sparring at 5 o'clock today? And if it was me and another heavy metalhead, we'd put on some good music, high five, beat the fuck out of each other, leave the gym and go for beer. That was how we did it. That was the fucking beautiful days of my fight career.
And that was therapy.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, Dave, what's your martial arts background?
So I started.
I know you did the boxing thing. You did the boxing thing, right?
Well, yeah, technically I started on door security with no fight experience at all. I was just this hot-headed little fucking kid. But I took a few judo classes and I didn't really like it. I took my first martial art was judo, but that was only like a week. Jiu-jitsu. I started in jiu-jitsu and then a couple of gym moves. I went to a mixed martial arts gym and I did more jiu-jitsu there, but then I got invited to do an MMA fight. And they were like, you were good at jujitsu, but you need to do some striking too, just because it starts on its feet and stuff. So then I took boxing, then I took Muay Thai, and in this fucking clusterfuck of 2 years of my life, I just engulfed myself in MMA. So some days I go up and do jujitsu sparring, jujitsu class, boxing, Muay Thai strength and conditioning. And within 6 to 8 months, I was doing my first fight.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I never had access to MMA because you might have known New York City is a boxing town. UFC was illegal here for 19 years. 2 years ago, they made it legal. Conor McGregor had a fight here in Madison Square Garden. So now MMA gyms started opening up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. So I had my first taste of that when I watched the Gracies back in 97. But mainly when I was coming up, I don't have any formal training. My mother put me in Taekwondo when I was younger. I never liked it. I always liked watching it on TV. But my mother, God rest her soul, always said, son, when I pass away, you're going to know why I put you in martial arts. And Dave, it clicked when she passed. She was preparing me for these obstacles of losing your parents because she had lost her parents. And just the obstacles that life throws at you, working to pay your bills and all that. Martial arts gave me the mental discipline to keep moving forward. Because guys in my position that lose their parents, lose their loved ones, they end up in a mental hospital. I've been able to keep it together. And that's why I thank people like you and Khaled, Amy, Ron, and the people that I promote. You guys keep me alive through inspiration and motivation. Yeah. Because I see you guys doing your thing, and I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to honor these people. Most of them I've met in person. Most of them we just interact on the internet. I'm going to honor them by keep moving forward. I've had all these setbacks with my health and all that. Man, the fight is still here. I'm still getting up. I didn't hear no fat lady singing. I didn't hear no bell ringing. Let's get it done.
What's your rehab now?
Huh?
What's your rehab now? Like, are you able to go to the gym? Are you able to do some motions?
No, I do the physical therapy because as you can see, I have trouble raising my arm. Right. But before I couldn't even sign my own name. But before that, what I was doing Wing Chun and Aikido because it helps in my security field. Because right now with cameras and stuff, it helps with restraining and subduing because you could put somebody in a wrist lock. As long as you don't punch them in the face, you don't have problems with the officers. Yeah. But back to the MMA talk, I never had any access to it. And I think I'm a little too old for it now. Maybe when I get better, I'll try some jiu-jitsu or whatever. But I never liked grading for belts or any of that because, there's a lot of politics behind the martial arts gyms. Yeah. So luckily for me, my family, they're all ex-military, ex-cops. And most of the guys that I work with are experts in close quarter combat. So in my respective field, I picked up a thing here or there, but I've never had any formal training. So that's why I asked you what your background is, because people ask me, oh, what's your belt? What's your rank? And I always tell them, people punch your face, not your belt. I have a black belt, the one that holds up my pants, the one I bought at fucking JCPenney. Yeah. And then I was joking around with a couple nights ago when that video I showed you, I was showing my friends some security techniques. Yeah, like I just tell them it's like my rank is concrete gray. I'm from the concrete jungle. I picked up things from the street. That's my dojo is the street. That's it.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll get some formal training.
I got a funny story for you. I was involved
Go
at a
ahead.
gym a couple of years ago, and during the pandemic, they were trying to fucking take our business. And I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get out of the building that we're in. We're going to train on the streets. And when someone asked me, like, where's the gym? What are you doing? I said, the gym is the streets.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it in a kind of a cheeky, like tongue-in-cheek kind of way. I just did it like, it's on that street there. This is where we're doing it. And then it clicked with me, and I started telling people, yeah, we do boxing on the streets, bro. You know, just
bro. That's it.
being all cheeky and
that
shit like
them,
that.
that gives them that situational awareness. Because when you're training in the concrete, there's no pretty mats, there's no padding. So when you do have to get into a real fight, you already know what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because half of that jiu-jitsu stuff you train in, if somebody gets you on the ground, your back is going to get scratched up trying to get out of a hole to put somebody in an armbar. That's why I never took my fights to the ground. That's why I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to keep my fight up here, because people think because I'm 6'4", it's an advantage. It's a disadvantage. I don't know if you notice, when tall people fight shorter people, we keep you at a distance to see what you got. The minute you're here, I'm blindsided because of my height. So yeah.
I always say the best technique for street fighting. People always ask me, what would you recommend I do for street fighting? I said the best thing for street fighting is fucking run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get out
Especially
of there.
now people have weapons.
And phones, because you know you can deal with a weapon. Like if there's a knife, good luck. If there's a gun, even better luck. But you know, nowadays, if you get into an altercation, you could be looking at
just run, because there's a lot of cameras staring at you. Cops are going to come after you. That's why when I used to teach self-defense, I used to tell people, keep your hands up, because if you do this, you're the aggressor. Yeah. But if you keep your hands open, it still gives you space to work, because that's your fighting stance. But the onlookers and the cameras see you with hands open. They know that you didn't start the fight. So if I have to fuck you up completely, I complete self-defense, because they're seeing me back away, but I'm actually putting it on you.
Yeah, and there's nothing.
Running is the best bet.
And there's nothing more humiliating than a bitch slap.
Oh, dude. You ever seen those open hand fucking slap contests? You seen that shit, motherfuckers getting knocked out with a palm?
The new guys, or the old Bass Rutten technique.
When he hits with the palm.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, but the best thing is just to run, because you don't know what anybody's coming at you with. Yeah. And fighting is a young man's sport. I'm 42. Like, I don't have the stamina, I don't have the endurance. I'm a smoker. You give me one punch in the gut, I'm fucking down for the count. I'm good.
Yeah. That's it, man. I'll remember that when I'm in New York, man. I'll just punch you once in the gut and then I'll buy you a beer. We'll be all right.
Yo, hey, no problem, bro. Listen, whenever you're in New York, let me know, man. Mi casa su casa, brother.
Done deal, man.
I'll give you a tour and all that.
what's your future look like now over the next, let's say, for 6 months? You're recovering, you're doing physiotherapy. Will you go into any gyms? Will you do types of mixed martial arts training or sparring or techniques?
No, but before my arm gave out, I was training Wing Chun and Aikido, and I was fortunate enough to meet Grandmaster Watts. Is this gentleman I've been following since 2013. I was always a fan of his work, because he's ex-military, he served the country, and he knows his stuff. He knows jiu-jitsu, he knows the Wing Chun. The guy that taught him is Moyat. Grandmaster Moyat was a direct student of Ip Man. Ip Man was Bruce Lee's teacher as well. Right. So the guy has like a strong background in that. I trained with him, and then I trained with a gentleman called Lenny Sly in Chicago. This guy trained with Steven Seagal's people. So I got a taste of what Steven Seagal's Aikido was about. It's called tension Aikido, and Steven Seagal is my height. So he made his Aikido work, because he took his hand deflections from the sword system, because he believes that to make these wrist locks work, there's got to be some kind of connection. That's why that video I sent you, you saw that demonstration I did. That's some of Steven Seagal stuff. And as you can see, it takes no effort, but it fucking hurts. You saw my boy Mike, he was like, oh shit, that was quick. And nobody expects a big guy like me to move like that. Yeah. That's why I keep it quiet. Let you think that I'm big and fat, but I'm that guy you might want to skip.
I love it, man. And then if you get him down, you just sit in his face, and then good night, Irene.
Yeah, have a good night. Bye. Drink a soda while you're in a wrist lock.
There you go, man. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. I do sincerely appreciate your time. It's like, since seeing you on Khalid's podcast the first time, I was like, I just fucking want to talk to this guy. I want to be friends with this guy because you put out a good message. You want nothing back in return. These are the kind of people that I want to be surrounded by going forward. I don't give a fuck about the flashy things in life that people are like, oh, I want to show you my new car or my new fucking this or that. Just sit down, shut up, have a beer, and just talk shit with your friends. That's what I want to be around. You know what I mean?
Hey, brother. And anything I can do to help you, man, you have my full support here in New York City, man.
Awesome, brother.
It was an honor to meet you. And for as long as I'm alive, you can count on my support, man. Much love and respect for you always, man.
I love it. Thank you very much, brother. We'll talk again soon.
Yes, sir. Keep in touch.
Rockin'.
Take it easy, champ. All right, bro.